Hey everybody, this is Billy at Bakersfield Tough Man. Today we are talking about older boats, and man, I've done a lot of upgrades on this boat, and it's been a great boat. But you know, a lot of times we buy boats for a good deal, and we probably could have got a little bit better deal by buying a boat a little bit more expensive that already had upgrades on it. So we're going to go over all that. Not everybody can afford a $100,000 wake surf boat, so we are going to talk about it. We'll go over it, and hopefully this helps you make a decision when it comes to buying an older boat.
I feel your spot in my bed. I see the sun creeping in. Why you gotta do me like that? Oh, I'm sick of the feeling you left me burning. Felt it every morning. I ain't going down the road no more. So when you see all of your friends, tell them that it just don't make no sense. Cause baby, when you see me through that lens, I swear I'm gonna pull up in a Benz. I just been meaning to say, I think I'm gonna be okay. I just been meaning to say.
Okay, let's get into it. There's a lot to go over here. I want to start with the rims and tires. That was one of the first big upgrades that I did. It really changed the attitude of this whole boat, the way it looks. It just looked a lot cooler. Originally, I think it had the 14-inch steel wheels on there. You know, they're just kind of generic. I think it had like a pie cut. I don't remember. No, you know what? It was a 5-star aluminum. I take that back. That's what it was. It was a 5-star aluminum wheel. And but it was a 14-inch, and it just didn't look good. And anyway, so I went with the 18-inch Ultra wheels by BOATMATE. I don't know if they carry them anymore, but I really like this design. It looks really cool when it's rolling too, man. But I ended up buying 6 wheels, and I have one spare tire and wheel on the trailer, which it didn't have before. I mean, the person that had it before didn't have it. I bought the wide fenders, as you see here, and it's pretty cool too. If you have a BOATMATE trailer and you give them your ID, they'll send it to you, like I got mine, and it's all pre-painted. It's I paid to have the Malibu. It has C-Deck Malibu on the side, you see there. They put that on, so it basically comes, and all you have to do is bolt it on. There is no painting, there's none of that stuff. And the price for all of that, I think, was about 2,500 bucks, right? Now, it's 6 wheels, right? I don't remember what I paid for the wheels. I think the wheels were like 100 or 200 and something bucks a piece. But yeah, it tows really good too, man. I mean, that was one thing that surprised me. I didn't think it would tow as good as it would, but it doesn't bounce up and down anymore, so it's real stable. It actually tows a lot better. So anyway, big improvement there, spare tire, and looks good going down the road. Let's talk about exterior gel coat. It's probably one of the most overlooked things, especially by new boat owners. And it's super important to go over the boat and see what you're getting into, because you can fix interior somewhat easy. Gel coat repair, that's a different thing. And it's very hard to find somebody that is really good at gel coat repair. Luckily, we have a person here in Paris that fixed it like perfect. He's one of the best. And yeah, man, he just did an incredible job on it. And yeah, the Malibus themselves have really thick glass on them, like thick gel coat. And he was actually surprised how thick it was when he actually got into it. But yeah, this boat, I bought it from Only Inboards, sight unseen. Someone looked at it for me, but of course, you know, that's not me looking at it. And the boat had some cracks from the screws in the windshield right here that got repaired perfect. And also there was a crack that came down the white and then took a hard right along the edge. And I was like, man, this sucks. And he fixed it perfect. I mean, absolutely perfect, man. I can't even tell where it is. I mean, I'm just kind of guessing where it was at, but I mean, it's perfect. But it's very hard to find people that know what they're doing. So that is very important. So look at the gel coat, really get over everything, because gel coat spider cracks, man, that's a buzzkill. It looks horrible, and usually they get bigger and bigger over time. One thing you want to check too is the bottom of the boat. A lot of people beach boats, especially areas like rivers that have like rocky bottoms, and a lot of times you'll see this bottom area right here all chipped away. So make sure you get under there and look at that V right there to make sure that the boat isn't missing a bunch of the gel coat. Overall, just take your time and really go over the entire boat. let's talk about the logos on the side of the boat, because a lot of times people don't pay attention to that. They can get quite damaged, and replacing those can get expensive, especially, you know, older ones that are hard to get. I think there's a company called Dome Numbers that actually sells some, but I was able to get a hold of the Malibu dealer, and just this piece right here, right? This piece right here, because the the outside piece was all falling off. So just this piece right here, 600 bucks. 600 bucks from Malibu I paid for that. So be careful when you buy a boat. Just know that, hey, look, you know, what kind of damage, and do I care? I mean, I could have easily, I guess, just taken all this off, and I guess that would have been just as good, I guess, for some people. But the logos can get very hard to get, especially for older boats. All right, well, I did a couple upgrades on the boat trailer itself too. There's a lot of things needed to be replaced. Added a new strap system to the back. It had some quick releases to it, a lot better than what they had. I think they just had regular straps on it. Also put some new bumper guards on. Those are pretty cheap. You can find those anywhere. As I mentioned before, we added a spare tire that it didn't have before, and I went to BOATMATE, and they actually sell this bolt-on piece right here, and it's all pre-painted, so it just shows up and you put it on. Pretty easy, right? The winch we had on this thing was not good. It was one of those old, I don't know, galvanized deals. So we did replace that, and added this new jack right here and welded a bracket on that. Put the new acrylic wheels on. The ones they had before were all cracked. So a lot of odds and ends and on this trailer that made it a lot better. Also put some new wiring on that made it a lot better. So overall, probably have about 600 bucks in upgrades around the trailer. When I originally got this boat, it was mushroom brown with burgundy piping and gray. It wasn't that attractive, to be honest with you, on the inside. And it had some spots that had been repaired and had a few rips. And of course, when I originally talked to the original owner, you know, what's the upholstery like? Oh, it's really good shape. But when I got here, it actually wasn't that great a shape. So I ended up taking it down to Gabe's Custom Marine down up in Atwater. He is the best. Worked for Malibu for 25 years. Knows everything about Malibus, man. He has all the templates. When you get it back there, it's like it's coming out of the factory. So we redesigned the color. You can see here, it's pretty tricked out. Also, I was able, and that cost right there, probably about, for the upholstery, probably about $4,000, $4,500 bucks, I think. Ended up getting a new center section there because the last one was trashed. You know, that's gonna cost you about 250 bucks. I think on the bargain to get. I actually had to get it, it was a little bit bigger. And I took it down to a local acrylic shop and had my old one, and they matched it up to it. So, you know, so we had on just that, we had what did I say? I don't know, about 4,500 bucks on the upholstery, throw in another 300 for the plexi. One of the new upgrades that I did on this boat was the polished stainless silencer exhaust tips. You can catch the build on this too on our channel. These are 150 bucks a piece at Bakes. You got about another, I don't know, 10 bucks on silicone. So about 310 bucks to do that. Put some new clamps on too on the inside. One of the things I did back here that I thought turned out really good is this was like painted originally, and it was, you know, faded and scratched. I actually took this down and had it all powder coated. And man, it really cleaned up the bottom of the deck. It looks really nice, and that'll look like that probably for the life of the boat. So ended up getting these powder coated. That was about 70 bucks. So there you go. So we've been doing a lot of wake surfing with this boat, and the original owner probably didn't do too much wake surfing, or if they didn't do it as hardcore as we do, because I had a prop on there before, and it was not the right prop. Well, it was one that came stock on it. I think it was a 1235. This is a 2315, and it made night and day difference on the wake surfing because it allowed us to plane the boat when it was really loaded down. So I think I paid like $500-600 bucks for that. That's a 2315, and that's a great prop for these style boats. So here's a look at one of the big upgrades that we did, and that is putting sea deck flooring in. It's actually pretty tricky on these older boats because they don't have gel coat underneath. So it has to be gel coated, then they can apply it. Had this done at Gabe's Custom Marine. I think you're gonna be between $3,000 and $4,000 on this. You have to call it in depending on the boat you have. But I definitely, this is way better than the carpet that was in here before. So these Malibu boat seats sit really low, even when you put the pad up. So I bought one of these risers. I got it off eBay. Some guy makes them on a CNC machine, does a really nice job on it, puts a logo in it, powder coats it. And it's way better having that seat up like that, especially when you're wake surfing and the nose of the boat's up. So I think I paid, man, about 200 bucks on that deal. So anyway, that's on eBay, you can get those, and that is a seat riser. These boats are notorious. They had a lot of chrome trim on them. And man, they are notorious for these pitting because they used really cheap chrome. I think it didn't have enough copper in it, I heard. But anyway, they were horrible, man. A lot of pitted. One of these lenses was cracked right here. So I actually replaced or had re-chromed all of the chrome on this boat. And that includes this, that was really pitted. That was actually pretty expensive because they had to do a lot of work on this because it was so pitted. Yeah, I did that. And of course, we reupholstered all the dash and everything, which was originally tan. But anyway, we did that. This was right here, had a slice in it like this. I don't know why. Medallion actually sells these, thank God. So I was able to get one of those, replace all the tops on them, and it looks like brand new, right? So I think in that all together with all the caps, I mean, all the covers and this piece and this, and actually replaced this too. This right here was pretty thrashed. So I found this on eBay. I forgot what it's called, but they're on there. You can get them every once in a while. But anyway, so I replaced this, replaced all this, cleaned all this up. So it's like brand new. And I think I have probably, I don't know, that's probably about $500 bill. And that's probably a bit more actually, probably 600 bucks to do everything. Actually with this, I take that back. It's probably about 700 bucks. I think I paid like $350 for this. And so the rest of it, yeah, probably about at least 700, maybe even 800 for all that. One of the big upgrades I did on this boat was the wet sound system. It had some Rockford Fosgate stuff scattered, mixed in with some JL audio, but I made the whole boat wet sounds, and man, does this thing sound awesome, dude. So now I can talk on the tower. I can have the tower speakers louder than the rest. I can control it all down there by my feet. You can see I've got a mic, a CB or whatever. I can talk to the riders. That's cool. The kids also love that. I'll kind of go up to the tower here and show you what I got. And that is, and they're underneath here, but these are Rev 10s. I put 4 of those on this tower. I had to get an extension here to make it all work, but man, it sounds so good. It's so clean. Yeah, and let me kind of just peek under here real quick. I'll show you what I got going on the amps. Down here, it's kind of messy, but you can see I got all wet sounds amps. Ended up putting I think a charging bank in the back, had it all rewired. So it is real nice now, man. When we go out, there's nothing, no scattered wires, everything's clean. That wasn't cheap. That was not cheap. That's about a $6,000, man. Probably about $5,000, dude, I think, on that stereo right there. But man, or maybe $4,000 to $5,000. I don't know. These are not cheap at all right here. I think they're about 1,500 bucks a set. So the 2 of those right there is $3,000 just on those speakers alone. And then we ended up putting wet sounds all the way around. These have the LEDs built into them too. Sounds really good at night. It looks cool. So yeah, man. So you're gonna have that right there is about a $4,000 to $5,000 upgrade. So I ended up adding another set of racks, which was really hard to find because these are the original Malibu. These are actually really nice. These spin racks right here, you can see them. They're actually constructed really good. And yeah, these are really hard to get. And so, but I did find another pair. So I ended up putting those on, and I actually changed the, whatever these are, right? Are they tongs? I don't know what they are. But anyway, I changed them to the Roswells because, first off, the one I had on there before was all chrome, and it had these inserts. Well, the inserts always peeled up, so that sucked. And plus, it wasn't wide enough for a wake surfboard. It was wakeboard style. So I needed some surf racks, but this is really nice because it's like a coated metal, right? So it doesn't, there's nothing to peel, and it's kind of like a rubberized. It's really easy on the boards. I just really like it. So, I mean, this wasn't, you know, these aren't cheap if you can find them in good shape. You're gonna probably spend about $300 to $400 on those. And then, you know, all these are, what, 200 bucks a rack. So, I mean, I probably have, I don't know, $1,000, $1,200 in additional racks and rack upgrades. This Bimini extension was a score because when I first got this Bimini right here, it had a zipper, but I didn't know why. And then I was just happening to look on eBay, man, and I noticed that it had a Bimini extension with a zipper. Well, obviously it's from the same company here. And so they had this extension kit, and I think I paid like $300 on eBay. I just found someone in Canada that had it. And man, this is such a big improvement for us. I mean, it's like an extra, I don't know, man, what is that? 2.5 feet? But on the boat, man, it just adds so much shade. And I don't take this down either, man. I travel everywhere with it. I never take it down. It always stays up. It has never fallen off. I've thought about having this redone right here. You know, I might, and maybe just make it one piece instead of having the zipper. But overall, man, this was an awesome thing. This Bimini extension, gold, man. That's probably one of the best upgrades, you know, for this boat. When I got this boat originally, the previous owner had it on a dock. Okay, that means they kept it outside. And the engine, you could tell that where they live, it's real humid. I mean, all the bolts were rusted on the top, even though they were stainless. For some reason, there was a lot of rust. The hoses were not the best shape. Spark plug wires, everything on it kind of looked like, I don't know, it was kind of gummy, or it wasn't that good a shape. It only had 260 hours when I got it, but still, it just needed some TLC. I took the top down. Man, I ended up breaking the bolts coming off. They wouldn't come off without breaking the bolts. That was no good. So I ended up getting new bolts, of course. I had the top all powder coated, and that's pretty cool. Had to get another Monsoon 340 emblem for the back. The last one was all pitted. It was bad. And I also added the, and you need to do this, the cooling, Inmar has a new cooling kit for this. It's an upgrade. It's like $250. It reroutes some of the whole water lines into the exhaust. So they always have water going to them, because before, water wouldn't get into them until the thermostat broke open. Well, the problem with that is that if you have hot aluminum and then you dump a bunch of cold water on it, it cracks the exhaust. And that's what was going on. So make sure you get that kit. It's $250. I mean, I probably have on the back end here, probably about, I don't know, $500 in upgrades with powder coatings and cleaning everything up and new wires. But anyway, looks like a champ now. I'm not going to pull everything out, but I will tell you that there is the Wake Makers piggyback system in here. Works really good. I got 900 bags on each side. There's a 400 bag under here, and then I have another bag that I put on the nose up there. All in all, probably about, I don't know, $800, $900 in bags. But if you're going to do wake surfing, that's something you're definitely going to have. So there you go. I'm sure I missed an upgrade or two here and there, but I just want to show you that so you know that, you know, sometimes you can get a boat and you may see one that's $40,000. You say, wow, that's an awesome deal, right? But then you see another one's $45,000, but it has a lot of upgrades on it already that you're not going to have to go and do, right? And so sometimes by paying a little bit more for a boat, you can save a lot of money. And it's really important too to take, I know a lot of times people go look for boats and they get super excited, you know, because they're going to get a new boat, and they don't take that extra time to really go over it, like inch by inch, and make so you know what you're getting into and what it's going to cost to repair it. You can hire people to do that. Some boat shops will do that, especially in the motors and stuff. You really need to have someone check those out if you don't know what you're doing. But, you know, definitely take your time, and don't be in a hurry to buy a boat as fast as you can. You know, shop around a little bit and you'll find one, man. Like I said, I would definitely recommend too, not buying a boat unseen. It is a gamble. I mean, overall, I still think I got a good deal. This has been a really good boat for us. It just, you know, I'm a perfectionist and I like to upgrade things. So, and my wife says, well, now you've upgraded, now you're gonna go buy something else. You know, that's just who I am. So, but anyway, there you go, man. That's what we did. I think this is probably one of the nicest LSVs, or not LSV, BLXs in the country. I don't think you're gonna find a more, I mean, this thing's almost perfect. So you're not gonna, it's hard to find things in this condition. So to get it to here, that's what I spent. Anyway, if you have any questions, give us a message and I'll try to help you out, especially if you're out trying to find new boats. All right, this is Billy at BTUFF.